So if we look at this diagram, today I am going to talk about how human brains work. First one, I'm going to talk about the experience. To really understand how a human beings work, we need to go under the soil. And these 14 ingredients is what is going to impact a human beings. Why do they do what they do? Why do they think what they think? Why would they feel what they are feeling? So I might not understand how you feel until I go underneath to understand what really contribute to how you feel, how you think, and how you act. The first thing is the experience. What happened to us in life? What happened to you when you were a kid and all the way up until now? As a baby, we are free. We know we are enough. We don't need people to tell us, and we know to say no to what we don't want to and say yes to what we want. So what happened to you now, to us now, at this age, that we cannot be authentic? So what happened to you, especially in your childhood? Because what happened to you in your childhood, that is your original wound, your core wound that hurts you and make you alter your perceptions, make you think how the world should be, how you should behave, or how you should feel, and how you should act in this world, and if the world is safe for you. Next is memories, how we remember what happened in our life. One thing is our memories are constantly changing as we evolve in our life. Most of the time when my clients tell me about what happened even 2 days ago, they couldn't even tell me exactly what happened because our memory changed. The memory is just their perceptions at that time. And now perception is our worldview, our lenses. From what perceptions are you looking at this incident? So an event is an event. An event is neutral. It's not good or bad. But how we view it is different. So if this is an event, for example, for years in my life, I can never get 10A in school. I always end up with 7 A's. And my family always compare my test result, my report card with my sister. My sister always get 10A, but I'll always get 7 A's, 8 A's, or 6A. For me, I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. I suck. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I am just not enough. But for my classmate who got 2 A's, they look at my report card, they say, you know what? I'll trade mine with you. So people have different perceptions to an event. So what is your perceptions? And attitude. Attitude is the state and your state of your mind and your body. Attitude can alter perception and change how we see things and behave in things. So an event is an event, but at the same time, it happens to what is your attitude at that time. Do you have a good attitude or do you have a bad attitude? Right? Because if you're in good mood, then you look at the event and say, oh well, no big deal. But it happened to be, if you're in bad mood, when you look at the event, you might get really upset. So the attitude actually impacts our perception and impact our behavior, our thought. Now, the thought, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And many times it comes down to, how do you talk to yourself? What is your head talk? Are you judgmental? Anything going internally and how we say to ourselves is so critical. It's more critical than what people tell us. How we say to ourselves can be changed and can be controlled only if you challenge it and explore where those thoughts and beliefs and thinkings come from. So many people are so judgmental to themselves. The first thing when you look in the mirror, Do you look at, I'm so pretty? Or do you start picking up the things that go wrong? That's one thing people say, if you say the things to yourself, to your friends, they will not be your friends. So be nice, be kind to ourselves. Emotions are energy sensation. Feelings are how we try to label. We are programmed to suppress them and not feel them. We were never taught how to feel our emotions. So many times we tend to want to feel the good emotions and we try to suppress the negative emotions. If the fear come up, the pain come up, the hurt come up, many of us do not know how to deal with that. And we try to suppress that. It's like, I don't want to think that thought. We ignore it. We distract ourselves by eating more, shopping, take drugs, addictions. That's when it comes in. Because we did not allow ourselves to feel the emotions. So that's one thing we have to learn nowadays is we need to feel our emotions. Acknowledge them. I feel the fear today. I feel like I'm not enough today. And then say it out loud. Acknowledge them. And say, yes, I don't know why I feel fear today. I do. I feel fear today. Articulate them. Why? Why are you feeling fear today? Let yourself to feel it. And according to scientific research, they say nowadays it only takes 90 seconds for a human to process that emotions, any emotions. We just need to feel it. And then the decision. Decision is the choice we make. We are chasing the not, trying not to lose weight, trying not to lose, sorry. We try to lose weight. We try not to lose money. We try not to get abandoned. We try not to get rejected. Trying not is different than I want to feel happy. I want to be peaceful. I want to be grateful. I want to be in abundance. So many times we see people say, oh my God, I try to lose weight. I try not to lose money. I try to pay the bill. So many times they will work very hard until they cross that line to say, oh, I have enough. And then they stop. And then they fall back into, oh my God, I don't have enough. And then I don't want to lose money. I don't want to lose this or lose that. And then they work hard again and cross that enough point a little bit and say, I'm good now. And they stop. And that's why we always see people running back and forth and trying to say, why do I always have to struggle? So make the decisions now on what do you really want. Trying not to be broke is different than I want abundance. Trying not to be rejected is different than I want to feel love. So make the decisions today. What do you want? I try not to get fat is different than I am sexy and skinny and good on my swimsuit. Belief. Most of the time, 90% of the time, we think the same thought. We think the same thought the day before. The thought you keep thinking over and over again become a belief. Nerve cells that fire together, wire together. So the more nerve cells fire, the more they develop long-term relationship. The more hardwired they become. The more hardwired they become, the more they become more automatic. And they become more unconscious. The process of change is really become more conscious of your unconscious thought and feeling. Just because you have that thought and feeling doesn't necessarily mean they are the truth. You have that thought and you believe it and you surrender to it without analyzing it. That thought will lead to the same choice, which will lead to the same behavior, and which will produce the same experience, and which then produce the same emotions. The same emotions will then drive the very same thought. Did you see the loops? And that same emotions will then drive the very same thought in terms of our biology, our neurology, our chemistry in our body, our hormone, and even our gene expressions, which stay the same because we are the same. The body has been conditioned to be the mind. You keep thinking the same thought, and that chemistry stored inside the body. And so now your body's like, I can do better than the mind. And because it has been doing it the same thing again, and over again, which become a habit. So sometimes it is the craving, the same experience, because it wants that emotions associated with that. And so I see many of my clients, they say I have the craving towards sugar, and I know it's bad for me, but I have this craving because they're craving for that emotions that's stuck inside the body. Until you go and get them, you are not able to release that craving, to get rid of that craving. So the thought of being unworthy produces the feeling of being unworthy. When the person feels unworthy, that tends to cause the person to think more unworthy thought. It only takes a thought and a feeling and an image of yourself and an emotion, a stimulus and a response. You can condition your body to memorize that behavior and that emotional state better than your conscious mind. So the moment we interrupt that feeling, we say, no, I'm not going to feel unworthy today. No, I'm not going to go for that sugar and that thought. And we no longer accept that. There is a biological craving. A biological craving says, no, you want that. You want that. Your body will say, no, we want that emotion. We want that. There will be a craving that takes place in the body because the body has been conditioned to be the mind. If you confront that thought to make a different choice, get ready to feel uncomfortable. It is unfamiliar because our minds tends to go towards the familiar and run away from the unfamiliar. And there's going to be some uncertainty when you are going into the unfamiliar because you're stepping outside of your familiar territories. And you are going into the unknown. The brain will immediately look around for external environment to see if anything has changed. Because you are changing, but your environment is not changing. And you see that nothing changed in the external world. Don't worry, because you have not fully changed yet. But the moment we look for the evidence in our life and we don't see it yet, sooner or later, people will accept that thought, which lead to the same choice, which lead to the same behavior, which lead to create the same experience that produce the same feeling. And then they say, oh, this feels right to me. This feels familiar to me because you have just returned to your known self. To truly change, you have to be very conscious of those unconscious thoughts and feelings. And that is the moment the body is being conditioned to a new mind. So you have to stop that. A habit is something you did so many times that the body knows how to do it better than your mind, than your brain. And now you're stopping the body from being in automations or in autopilot. If the body is craving for that feeling of unworthiness and you're stopping the body from feeling that way, and you are aware in your life how you speak, how you feel, and you are checking in. You are saying, do I really want to feel this again? Do I really want to feel this way? That is the space between where you are going from the old self to the new self. So the victory today is to be very conscious of your unconscious personality and will not be going back into the unconscious thought and feelings and behavior again. That is the moment of victory. That is the moment of change. And if you keep doing that again and again and again, that unfamiliar will become familiar. So ask yourself, what thoughts do I want to fire and wire in my brain today? If a belief is a thought that you keep thinking over and over again with intentions and attentions, you will switch on the prefrontal cortex and assigning a new meaning to it, to that act, to that thought, and start installing new circuit in your brain. If you keep doing it over and over again, it becomes hardwired and it will become automatic and it will run an autopilot. And now you're installing new circuit, and that you're worthy of love, you're worthy of abundance, you're worthy to heal, or whatever that is important to you. That is the thought you want to believe in. If you don't have the circuitry in place, you will always default to the old program. So if you say, how am I going to be in the meeting today? How am I going to be with my ex today? How am I going to be with my co-worker today? You start thinking and rehearsal how you're going to act in certain situation. The subconscious mind, actually doesn't know the difference between the reality, the real life experience, or the one that you imagine. The research on mental rehearsal actually showed that the brain will look in time that it already had that experience, even in the vacant of the real life experience. So keep firing and wiring those circuits in your brain, and you are going to behave that way. Now, you are installing the new circuitry to use in your life to get your behavior to match your intention. You now ask, how would it feel to feel worthy of love? How would it feel to feel abundance, to be abundance, to heal, to be whole, to be healthy, to be grateful for your life? I'm going to teach you your body emotionally what it feels like before it actually happens. You're not waiting for your life to change to feel worthy. You're not waiting for your life to change to change your behavior, to feel worthy, to feel love, to feel abundance. You are generating abundance, love, and creating and elevate emotions. You feel it now before it actually happened. Your body is so objective that it actually believes it is living in the whole new environment now, before it change. In other words, your body is believing in the new future. You're not looking for abundance because your body belief is living now. And get ready. When your body believes that they're living in abundance now, get ready. Because opportunities will come. Your life will begin to change so rapidly. So one thought will lead to a choice, which will create a behavior and create an experience that produce an emotion. So then, new information, new knowledge begins to cause you to think differently. If you can remember that knowledge, if you can remember that new knowledge and begins to make a different choice because you want to experience the truth of that information, so you have to behave differently. And when the experience occurs and you feel the feeling of love, abundance, I guarantee you that you want to make the process of change something consistent in your life. Value. Value is what we value in our life. Many people have value conflict. They say, I want to have a lot of money, but what they subconsciously believe is like, no, I don't want to have a lot of money because it would mean that I need to work more. And so now I sacrifice a lot of time for freedom and time with my family. So that is where people have this value conflict. For many years, that is my conflict too. I want to be successful, but what's holding me back is like, no, when I become successful, I become more successful than my partner. My partner might not want me. Who wants a successful woman? And for many years, I'm like, yeah, I want to build a business empire. But then what holds me back is like, no, you don't. Because you will sacrifice a lot of your time with your family. Your family needs you. You will sacrifice all your time. Because that is what I see in my parents. They work so hard, days and night to build their business. So every choice we make is a value choice. Do you have a value conflict? And next is driver. What is driving all the things that we do? Understand the human underneath the behavior. What is the driver that drive you, that motivate you? A lot of people, a lot of clients tell me that I want to change. But what really drives them to change is when they're in so much pain. And many times you don't have to suffer to change. But we were conditioned to enjoy our life. Life is short. We need to enjoy our life. So use that money to go on vacations, to buy this and buy that. Just enjoy your life. There's nothing wrong with that. But until a person hit their rock bottom, that's when they realize that I need to change. Or I have many clients was like, they will say, I want to change. Can you coach me? When I was like, all right, let's do the work. But when they realize that their conditions get a little bit better, they stop changing. They say, oh, I'm good. So what is your driver? What is driving all the things that you do? You have to go all in if you want to have abundance life, if you want to have a happy life, if you want to have a joyful life, if you want to feel inner peace. Nothing outside can ever give you that. No one around you can ever give you that. Only you can create that in your inner environment. So really understand this. What drives you? This is so critical. Many times we don't even understand ourselves and we just let our body run on an autopilot. It's just like you let this Ferrari just go loose. Or wild horse, just go loose in the wild. We have the ability to control our body, to really understand ourselves and achieve the success that we want in our life. I'll see you in my next video and we'll talk more about the Matter program, which is a big topic and trauma that I want to talk about. I'll see you next.